Have you ever wondered what diabetes actually is? And no, it's not just about urinating sugar. Despite what the name might suggest. Is it dangerous? What causes it? And why are more people getting diagnosed every year? Let's break it all down in today's video. Over the years, as societies grow wealthier, a curious trend has emerged. So does the number of people diagnosed with diabetes. It's particularly common among those who are overweight or obese. Why that is, we'll get to shortly. Globally, this condition has reached alarming levels. According to current estimates, nearly 450 million people are living with diabetes. That's about 1 in every 16 people. A staggering figure that places diabetes at the center of a global health crisis. What is diabetes, really? To understand diabetes, we first need to understand how our bodies absorb and use energy, specifically, how it processes sugar from the food we eat. Here's how it works. Every time you eat, your food travels to the stomach, where it's broken down by acids and enzymes into smaller, digestible parts. One of the key products from this breakdown is glucose, a type of sugar that serves as the body's primary energy source. Once glucose is created, it moves into the small intestine and is absorbed into the bloodstream. But here's the catch. Even though glucose is now floating around in your blood, your cells can't use it yet. They need a special key to unlock the door and let it in. That key is a hormone called insulin. Insulin is produced by an organ known as the pancreas. Specifically, the beta cells within the pancreas act like tiny sensors. They constantly monitor your blood sugar levels. When these cells detect a spike in glucose, like after a big meal, they signal the pancreas to release more insulin. Think of insulin as a delivery guy. Its job is to escort glucose from the bloodstream into the body's cells, where it can be used to generate energy. If glucose is the fuel, insulin is the access code that unlocks the fuel tank when things go wrong. So what happens when this process malfunctions? Sometimes, the beta cells in the pancreas stop working properly. Maybe the sensor is faulty, or maybe the pancreas itself is damaged. Either way, it doesn't produce enough insulin. Without enough of it, glucose can't enter the cells. Instead, it builds up in the bloodstream. This is known as type 1 diabetes. But there's another scenario. Sometimes, insulin is present, but it doesn't work like it should. The key no longer fits the lock. The body becomes resistant to insulin's effects. This is called type 2 diabetes, and it's the more common form. Regardless of the cause, the result is the same. Too much sugar remains in the blood. And that's the essence of diabetes. Now, you might be wondering why it's called diabetes, or why some people say it means sugar in the urine. Well, when blood sugar levels rise excessively, the kidneys try to filter some of that sugar out. As a result, glucose starts to appear in the urine, hence the name. Does obesity cause diabetes? Many people ask. Why do overweight individuals seem to get diabetes more often? And can skinny people get it too? Let's clear that up. In obese individuals, particularly those with excessive belly fat, the body is often overloaded with stored energy. When they eat, they typically consume large amounts of carbohydrates and sugars. But their bodies already have more energy than they need. So, instead of using the sugar, the body rejects it. The result? Glucose floats around in the bloodstream with nowhere to go. Over time, this buildup can lead to insulin resistance and, eventually, diabetes. However, that doesn't mean only overweight people are at risk. Thin people can develop diabetes too, due to genetic predisposition, congenital conditions, or even autoimmune responses. So while obesity increases the risk, it's not the only cause. Is diabetes dangerous? The short answer? Absolutely. In fact, diabetes is one of the top 3 deadliest diseases worldwide, right behind heart disease and cancer. Why? Because chronically high blood sugar levels can wreak havoc on the body in several ways. Let's look at the most serious complications. 1. Nerve damage, neuropathy. Excess sugar in the blood damages blood vessels, especially the tiny ones that nourish nerves. When nerves begin to lose their blood supply, they can malfunction. At first, you may feel tingling, numbness, or burning sensations, especially in the hands and feet. In more severe cases, this leads to blood pressure issues, nausea, incontinence, sexual dysfunction, and more. 2. Eye problems, diabetic retinopathy. Again, those damaged blood vessels cause trouble, this time in the eyes. The retina, which is crucial for vision, can begin to bleed internally, leading to blurry vision or even blindness if left untreated. 3. Coronary artery disease. High blood sugar contributes to the buildup of plaque in the arteries, narrowing them and increasing the risk of a heart attack or stroke. Diabetics are 4 times more likely to die from coronary artery disease than those without diabetes. These are just a few examples. There are many other complications, from kidney failure to slow wound healing. But the point is clear. Diabetes is not something to take lightly. For those living with type 1 diabetes, where the body fails to produce enough insulin, the common approach is insulin injection therapy. This means they have to supplement their bodies with insulin externally to help regulate their blood sugar levels. It's not a cure, but rather a lifelong management strategy. When it comes to type 2 diabetes, the problem isn't a lack of insulin, but rather the body's inability to use it effectively. In this case, treatment focuses on reducing the intake of carbohydrates and sugars to lower the demand for insulin. That's why dietary adjustments play a crucial role in managing this condition. People are often advised to follow a low glycemic diet and cut down significantly on refined starches, especially foods rich in white flour or added sugars. One thing that's important to clarify is that diabetes is not caused by a virus or a bacterium. It's not an infectious disease, which means there's no vaccine that can prevent it. What we can do is focus on prevention through lifestyle, primarily by eating a balanced, nutritious diet and engaging in regular physical activity. Even though researchers have made remarkable progress in understanding diabetes and developing treatments to manage it better, a complete cure still remains out of reach. For now, the best defense is a good offense, meaning prevention. Early detection and ongoing management are our most effective tools. To sum it all up, diabetes is a serious, chronic condition caused by problems with insulin production or function, leading to excessive sugar in the bloodstream. It may sound simple on the surface, but the effects it has on the body can be wide-reaching and, if left untreated, extremely dangerous. Whether you're someone at risk, living with the condition, or simply seeking to understand it better, knowledge is the first step toward taking control. Hopefully, this video has given you a clearer picture of what diabetes really is, how it develops, who's at risk, and why it matters so much. Thank you for watching. Stay healthy, take care of your body, and see you in the next video.